Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm gonna be reacting to true childhood horror story animated. Now I have a lot of scary stories to tell you guys, but I'm really not because I'm thinking you guys are gonna be bored. So yeah, so I'm just gonna react to them and see if there's actually a possibility half of this video is actually true. And let's get started.
When I was 8 years old, I used to live in my grandma's house in Ecuador. Many of the neighbors would talk to my parents about seeing weird stuff in the house, like shadows moving around the windows when we were. The first thing that would come to our heads was that
I think it was just like an animal or something, maybe. Or it's just like their imagination, or it's actually a ghost.
someone must have broken into the house, but nothing would ever be missing.
So why would you think somebody would be breaking into your house if they're not gonna steal anything, or they're just gonna like, so like a robber basically just takes your stuff, but if nothing's found missing, then that doesn't mean it's a robber. I mean, it could be like a person's house sitting in the house. You may never know.
Of course, they didn't think that there was someone breaking in. They were sure that our house was haunted. Everyone even refused to come inside for parties or any other special occasion.
Sad.
They told us to get a priest and to get rid of any bad spirits. We didn't take their warnings as something important because my parents don't believe in those kinds of things. Although I would hear someone going up the
You need proof. You need proof. If you don't have proof, how do you know? You need proof. You need evidence about this. I mean, you can't just tell them to get a priest and delete the spirit. I mean, you need evidence. Like, if you have no evidence, who's gonna believe you? Every time when I get scared at night, I tell them, but they just like, oh, it's just your brother. I'm like, you haven't picked up my brother yet from work. And then like, oh, and nobody's home. And just me and my grandma or my big brother sleeping. And technically it's very weird hearing walking noises all night. I mean, I sweat and then like I can't sleep. So
stairs at night. Our stairs were really old, so they would make a loud sound when someone would step on them. However, when I checked, there was nothing.
Yeah.
I would just run to my bed and...
Okay, sorry for interrupting again, but a few days ago, the same thing happened to me. I heard eating noises and I seen a shadow walk from the living room, and I never seen a shadow go into the living room, and I thought it was my dad, but I also thought it was somebody else or a ghost. I never knew what it was, so when I went into the kitchen, I didn't see nothing. I just seen cookies on the table. That's the only thing I noticed, and I was just like, okay. And then I heard it again. I never seen anyone out there, and I didn't hear anything, just the eating sound. And I know if it's my dad, if I hear shoes, or if he just coughs very badly, or the noise on his phone is, doing something. So sorry if I'm interrupting again. I'm super sorry.
cover my head with the sheets until I fell asleep. One night, someone started knocking on the door really hard and screaming. We got really scared as it was 12:30 a.m. and everyone was asleep by then in our neighborhood. It was extremely rare that someone would be up at that time. My dad took his shotgun and told my mom and me to stay in my room and not move. I was scared for my dad's safety, but I felt relieved when my dad said my neighbor's name. He informed us that a water pipe had broke in our backyard and the water was spraying his house and broke one of his windows. he was nice about the situation, and even said he'd help us fix the pipe. My dad got the shovels, as the pipes were underground, and we had to dig to see what, and they went to get it, leaving me alone in the backyard. There was barely any light back there.
Okay, I don't know how old he was, but like, why would you leave your child alone? Like, my parents would even leave me alone if I wanted to be alone. Like, somehow, when I'm in my room, my brother will come in my room, and then my grandma will come in here, and then when I go to the living room, they come back. So I can't get any privacy around my house, and I don't know why.
The only source of light we had was the moon, and one light post a block away from my house. I was pissed off. I mean, how could they leave an 8-year-old boy there by himself in the dark?
Why would you leave an 8-year-old? You had to be at least like 10 to be alone. I'm 10, and my parents still don't leave me alone.
But I didn't say anything about it. About 10 minutes had gone by since they left, and I was wondering what was taking them so long. They were only getting some materials after all. But as I was going to go back inside, I saw something moving really fast at the corner of my eye. I froze. I wanted to run, but I couldn't. I wanted to scream, but I couldn't. All I could do was move my eyes. I started to freak out, looking around to see what the hell was running around me. I didn't see anything. It was as if there was nothing there at all. But then I looked to my right, and I saw something that haunts me to this very day. It was a demon, in my opinion. It was so tall, around 7 or 8 feet tall. It had long, skinny legs with a really buff body. It also had very long spiral horns, and his eyes shined in the dark.
You know what I would do? I would eat things at it and pour holy water on it.
I still couldn't move. The thing ran by me, looked at me, but it didn't do anything. It could have been a goat or a sheep. I've never seen one so big or one that walks on 2 legs like a human. It ran, and I hid behind a big tree by my neighbor's house. Finally, I could move. I yelled at the top of my lungs while crying hysterically. My dad came running with his shotgun in hand and asked me what was wrong. I explained what I saw to him, but he didn't believe me, nor did my mom.
Exactly. That's what I hate about parents. They just don't believe their kids. I mean, what's the point of even having kids without even trusting them? I know they're like troublemakers and they lie sometimes, but doesn't mean that they're not telling the truth. I mean, look how paralyzed he is. You see how paralyzed they are? It's how do you know they're telling the truth? Is how they act, not how they tell you. Like, just believe the kid. I mean, like, what's wrong with that?
But someone did. My neighbor told me that he thought nothing happened to me because I'm a kid. As time passed, I
just because you're a kid does not mean you don't have rights.
Slowly got over it. I moved from that house and moved to New York. My grandparents sold the house, and I left that experience in the past. However, that's not where this story ends. In my sophomore year in high school, I had a nightmare. The thing that I saw that night was it this time. I could only see its head as it was hiding behind the big tree. He said 3 words that'll haunt me until my time comes. It said, "You can't hide." I woke up from my nightmare and headed to school. While in school, at around 12:30 p.m., there was an announcement. A classmate of mine had been killed in front of my school by a car without brakes. I turned pale as I thought my nightmare may have something to do with the incident. I was scared and even went home early. I told my parents about it, but this time they took me to a priest, and he said he'd give me something in 3 days. Every single day.
Oh my god. Why? He's not possessed. He's paralyzed. Because you're not believing him, not helping him. Like, come on, just help the kid already. Like, God.
Hey, I had the same nightmare until my priest gave me a blessed cross. And I haven't had any nightmares about the thing anymore. However, every night I sleep with the covers over my head. Howard, or anything you want, but the thing still hasn't left my mind.
Okay, that's the end of this story. And if you have anything like that, at night, make sure you have your phone, a flashlight, water, tissues, a weapon near you by your side in case of anything like that, in case of it's a robbery or anything. So, all you gotta do, if you hear the noise, grab out a voice recording app, and so a voice recording app like this, and record the voice you hear, and just label it evidence of a spirit or robbery or anything. And if they don't believe you, then take out your camera, peek through your door, and record what you hear or see. And if it's actually a robber, I would definitely look if they have any weapons on them. If they don't, just attack them. Okay, I'm not saying don't murder them. I'm just saying just whack them, don't injure them or anything. And that's gonna be it for this video. If you want any advice, please give this video a lot of likes, and I will do part 2, but some tips on how to protect yourself from anything. And thank you so much, and bye guys.